Good morning. I'm here to do your What's Cracking reading. We're going to use the Tarot of the Golden Wheel to do your reading. I will get those classes up this week. I've already tried to work out some dates for them for the tarot classes, both intermediate and beginners, because I'm going to start doing platform and travelling on a more regular basis. So that's sort of in the future as well. I am still at Port Kembla on a Thursday if you want to come in for a reading. It is starting to pick up, so it is starting to get a little busier. You can ring ahead and book a time with me, but I will take in walk-ins, you see, which I had 3 last week, so they're always nice, those last minute people, especially if they've never had a reading before. So Thursdays I'm still at the Enigma Cafe. That's the psychic hub in Port Kembla. Getting a little bit busy in the shop too, which is very, very nice, and it's a great atmosphere. I feel like it's a bit of a family affair. Okay, I think that's all I want to talk about this morning, so let's just get straight into your reading. Thank you so much for your beautiful comments and look at my hair, and following me, supporting me, and everything else. I really do appreciate each and every one of you, especially when you comment on stuff. I love reading your comments. Beautiful thanks to the person who always puts the astrology up. That always sort of makes me realise how, as a reader, you pick up on the general energies in the universe, and it's sort of, in its way, a little bit validating. I don't need validation. I know I've done this for a long time, and I know what I do is what I do. But it's really good to know that we're in line with each other. It's funny, isn't it? Because my new little thing to say now is it is what it is. My sister said it to me ages ago and said that she found that the statement really annoyed her. Thanks, Sylvie. But it's actually become my, I don't know what you call it, a motto. It is what it is, and it's helping me just to understand when I do try to control things. And as much as I've worked so very hard on that and allowing the universe to do its work, I still find I get a little antsy about things, so it's just helping me to be more relaxed and relieved. All right, let's get into this reading. Oh, we have the Hermit coming out. So I looked at the whole idea of new learning yesterday and thought I haven't really done any work for a while, and I know that is coming. A lot of energy of leveling up, a lot of dreams. I dreamed about a flea in my bread last night, so there's obviously something still bothering me there that I haven't let go of, because bread is just, like having everything. It's such a perfect dream when you dream of bread. But the fact I had a flea in my bread means I still have something that's bothering me. The Hermit card talks of taking time out. It's about deep healing, but it's also about like really understanding who you are, where you want to go. It's very much a card of contemplation. So I feel like possibly, we're all a collective. So I know when I start going through that energy of needing something or moving towards a new direction or whatever else, I know many of you are in the same energy. So I feel that there's a need for some of us to really do deep contemplation at the moment. And I feel like it's, okay. I feel like it's because we're leveling up. I see the 9 of Swords and I feel this is very much about letting go of those last things that are holding us back. And I know many of you have done great work. I speak to you all the time and I can feel it when I do your readings, especially when they're repeat readings. I can feel the difference in your energy. The 9 of Swords is a card of anxiety and stress. And I feel a lot of us are really starting to be the observers in our life and understanding this is the ego energy that always drives at you, that doesn't leave you alone. It's the fears, the worries, the concerns, everything you've done in a day, thinking about what you did right, what you did wrong. It's all of those energies being mixed up in here. And I feel like for many of you, I can almost feel the Ace of Swords coming in here and completing this cycle. So All right, so some of you may need some healing after hurt and heartbreak. And as I always say, the Three of Swords, which is not my favourite card, does have some redeeming qualities. And for some of you, it's about putting pain behind you. It's about releasing past pain. And I feel very, very much here, this is what a lot of you are doing at the moment. Really understanding how to let go of those last few things that are standing in your way from being able to create what you want here. All right, so there was some sadness from the past here, possibly to do with an air sign, Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. I also feel here that maybe some of you are starting to feel the energy of the Queen of Swords too. Maybe you're ready to cut some past hurts out, release some of the past here. This is all here about releasing past energies. So I feel that very much with this Queen of Swords and this Five of Cups, there may be a releasing of the past. Right, we have the Hanged Man. Okay, and the Nine of Wands. It's a very deep reading this morning. What this is saying to you here is, and for my beautiful friend Linda, there's a fish on this card. There is this energy of, actually it's probably an eel but close. There's a real energy of starting to see something a different way. And it's really funny because I've had this a lot from people who've had readings lately where they've said to me, I don't see things so much the way I used to. Now when something happens, I actually walk away and say to myself, what did I have to learn from that and what was the lesson? So a lot of people starting to understand how to, I don't want to say analyze, because analyze is probably a pretty sort of tough word. It's much more gentle than that. It's about people sort of looking at what's going on in their lives and then asking themselves, why is this happening? And what do I have to learn from this? Because that way, you know that the next time it happens or the next time something similar comes along, you've already built the toolkit for it. But if you immediately go into the victim mentality of, why is this happening to me? This always happens to me. Then you are not addressing the lessons. So I guess for a lot of people, that makes it lighter for people moving through life. Really understanding that perhaps if you take the lessons from something off, rather than feeling bogged down by them, it helps you to understand how to be more grateful and joyous in your life. And when I see this Nine of Wands, it is the card of cycling. The Nine of Wands is about going through pain over and over and over again because you're not learning the lesson. It's like each time the lesson comes around, you're taking that lesson and you're putting it there, but you're not learning anything from it because the next time you're picking up another one and you're doing the same thing. And you're now to 9 of these, which means it has to close out sooner or later. But the only way to close out the cycle is to realize here what you are doing. And then you can move on to the 10. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there you go. So by understanding that they are lessons you're going through, you complete the cycle, you move on to the next cycle. Okay, Four of Cups with the Seven of Cups. Okay, so what I see here is by completing this cycle, moving out of this time, you're opening yourself up to a lot more opportunities. And I feel like in the past, you've perhaps been a bit disappointed with what you've been offered. Because there's definitely this opportunity here to take up something new. Oh, 10 of Pentacles, there you go. So it's sort of like having this plethora, I love the word, plethora of opportunities here, and being able to take something up here and move into the next phase. So there's definitely a feeling that you're completing some sort of cycle that has brought you perhaps grief, but taught you a lot of lessons. So instead of focusing on, the negatives or focusing on, the things that have happened in a negative way, try looking at it as lessons you've learned and understanding that moving into the next phase or cycle, you don't have to go through those lessons again because you recognize them. And that will stop you sort of falling or dropping back into that victim mentality. And when you're in a victim mentality, blah, 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 blah. When you are in a victim mentality, you don't recognize the good. You only recognize the bad. And then you start to repeat the pattern of, why does it always happen to me? But that's what you're manifesting. So if you keep asking yourself that, the universe only hears, this happens to me. So they keep giving you the same lesson over and over again. The universe will provide you with what you ask for, and if that's what you're asking for, you're going to get more of it. All right, let's see where we're going here. Okay, so we have the King of Swords coming through too. So apart from representing Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, he's pretty foreboding on this card, isn't he? I feel like here there is a very cold energy with this card this morning, very cold. While I always see the King of Swords as being the analytical energy, the logical mind, I do feel that there's a real coldness with this energy. So maybe you are feeling very cut off from yourself at the moment, or very cut off from your emotions. Maybe for some of you are feeling a little bit cut off from spirit. Maybe you've been doing a lot of spiritual work. We go through these funny little phases where, you know, we question or we wonder where we're going with this or what's happening. So it sort of feels to me you may be dropping into your logical mind a little bit and being disappointed rather than staying in the uplifting energy. Let's see. All right, so we have the Ace of Pentacles coming through with the Tower. Okay, this does make a whole lot of sense. King of Cups. For some of you here, I feel like the King of Cups is a person though, whereas the King of Swords feels like an energy. There is some sort of new start that is being born out of some sort of energy of breaking down a way of doing, thinking, being. So possibly coming out of this cycle, you're recreating something here with the Ace of Pentacles. But something here has to be completely broken down for the new phase to occur. And maybe you're going into this more sort of logical mindset here with the King of Swords, because you're trying to get past some sort of cycle or situation that you now need to leave behind. This could be somebody you're dealing with, because this does have the feel of a person, a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or perhaps you're thinking of closing out a cycle with a father figure. Perhaps you've become it almost feels like obsession with something here. And it has to end with the Tower. Something has to complete. Because the new beginning is right here. So whatever you're learning here, whatever lessons you're taking on board, this new start, this new beginning is really close. And maybe for some of you, handling these energies, handling what's going on at the moment, especially with Mercury retrograde this time, because it's been particularly difficult this time around. But with the King of Swords, I really feel like you're trying to get into some sort of logical mindset. Maybe you're looking at cutting something out of your life because of this Tower and new start. And I feel like with the Hanged Man here, you might be looking at some sort of love interest here in a very different light. And don't forget, the King of Cups can represent, just because it's the king, it's the masculine energies. So if it could represent male or female. But something has to go. Something has to be cut out here. And you're using your logical mind. There could be, for some of you, that you're not trusting someone here. Maybe you've been watching them here. Wow, that's pretty... Whew. You may have been watching someone and you may have found out something you didn't want to know here. Because I feel strongly here that you're going to cut something out. You're ready to remove something here. And for me, it's an energy of perhaps finding something out, seeing something differently. Maybe you've had information that's got you to the end of this cycle and into a Tower moment. Maybe you've been shown something from the universe. You are definitely managing this with a much Eight of Swords, yeah. You're in your head about it too. You're thinking about how to finish something out, how to let something go here so that you can welcome in a new start. Now, it's possible for some of you here that you may be letting go of one person to let in a new person. Very possible. But I feel like for many of you, this is about doing this from a logical perspective. No longer sort of seeking with your emotions, letting the emotion go. Because the Ace of Pentacles is taking you in a new direction. You may be even thinking of doing something like leaving town, living in another place and leaving something behind here because of some sort of pain and heartbreak. But this feels to me like you've had information or you've seen something differently. All right, so we have the Star coming through with the Seven of Wands and then the Eight of Wands. Geez, we've had the Eight of Wands in that first position so many times lately. It's sort of like, yeah, I know it means communication. It means arrows of love. It means all of these things. But if you put it there, then I have to clarify it because it doesn't sit on its own in that energy. Okay. So I feel like there's a few different stories here, but basically the energy coming through is that you're being given an opportunity to close out a cycle and move forward. But in order to do this, you've got to start seeing things through the logical mindset rather than your emotions, because the emotions is keeping you trapped in some sort of victim mentality, and that cycle needs to close out. So you need to work out how to cut that out. You see it from a much more logical viewpoint, because the universe is trying to break down the rubble of your past, remove this energy from you and bring in a new start. And for some of you, this could be a person here. But for others of you, I feel like the person is the reason you need to let go. You may be really fixated or obsessed with somebody here. Or maybe even your idea of somebody. I feel like it's a person though, because the next row says to me that there's been some sort of information that's come to hand. And I feel like for some of you, you may have seen something that's disappointed you here with the Eight of Swords. Now, what I want to say is with this Seven of Wands here, it's really quite interesting because the Seven of Wands is like standing fast, being stubborn, not letting go. So maybe some of you are finding it very difficult, even knowing with the Star here that it's part of your destiny. You may be still hanging on to something here that you need to let go of. I hope you didn't hear my stomach then. You may be hanging on to something that needs to go. I can see that completely. I feel like this person is not allowing you to complete a cycle or not allowing you to move into the next phase. But you may be standing fast, even though you know that. You may still be standing fast. So this is about moving into your logical mindset and perhaps letting go of some of the emotion and looking at it from a logical standpoint. There is communication coming through, and I'm wondering if this communication here is leading to you seeing things in a very different way. Let's have a look. All right, so we have the Hermit card. So the time of rest is coming. There is a time to heal, chill out, let go of this Nine of Swords. There is some sort of pain or heartbreak from the past that has disappointed you, and I feel like you need to cut that out and move on. Cut it loose. There is something you need to see from a different perspective here, because you need to close out some sort of pattern here that you are repeating. The universe is trying to move you to a next phase because you've been dissatisfied with this one, and the next phase will give you a lot of opportunities, and an opportunity here to bring in the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like some of you are getting communication here that's going to help you see something differently with that Hanged Man. But whatever this is, I've got to say to you, it feels to me like you've either found something out or you've seen something you don't want to see, which has led to a great deal of disappointment here. Some sort of communication. And I feel like you've been stubbornly holding on to something, feeling you couldn't let it go here. And I feel like something's coming in to help you let go of this. All right, Eight of Wands being clarified again by the Hermit with the Ten of Wands. Yeah, it helps you to reach the end of the cycle, and the Temperance card, and bring in a balance. Okay, Five of Wands, still some conflict here. And then we have the Hierophant. Wow, again, all the major arcanas to clarify. There is stability here. There's a lot of stability with those cards. But I feel like somehow or another, digesting what's happening here, like really starting to understand it, is helping you to pick up that last swan to close out the cycle. The Seven of Cups has come out again. It's opening you up to more opportunities. There's the Ace of Wands, King of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like perhaps for some of you here, there is a brand new start coming in here. Definitely. So it's like you're holding yourself back. Maybe with a person here, thinking perhaps things are going to improve, but maybe you're seeing no improvement here. There's a disappointment here through communication. But then I see a brand new opportunity coming here, because the universe is saying that you will have lots of opportunities if you move forward. And I feel like a person here. Well, I am a person. I feel like this is a person coming towards you with this beautiful wand. So maybe this person's got the 10 of Wands, the last wand, to finish off the 9 and bring you to the end of a cycle. So maybe a new start here. But I feel like, look, it brings you into this beautiful 9 of Pentacles energy. So you're feeling very ready for the next phase there. All right, let's have a look at what we've got. We'll go for a oracle from the Shaman, Mystical Shaman deck. Well, that's really interesting. I think I might take that one, Spirit. Thank you. All right, what number? 3. You know, on my way home the other night, no, I was not on my way home. I was on my way to go to the fair. And I saw something run across the road and I couldn't quite make it out what it was. So I slowed down. And I was really glad I did, because this fox reached the other side of the road and realised it couldn't get out, and then freaked out and ran back again. So it actually ran in front of my car twice. And the second time, if I'd have been going faster, I would have hit it, which would have devastated me. And I thought, isn't that interesting that I've been shown a fox? So it was quite, I was going to say quite timely for me. So very interesting when something like, I actually had a dingo do that to me once. So it's very, how would you say, auspicious, beautiful. All right, so the arrow card that's coming through here says, receiving this symbol reminds you that when you are in alignment with your heart and soul, you're on target and will soon be hitting your mark. Be true to your calling, release attachments and free yourself from the bondage of unbridled ambition. Now is revealed to be a moment of contact in which your intention meets the material world. The arrow also symbolizes the need to set your creativity free. I feel like that was the flea in my bread. When the arrow zings through the air, it is inviting you to pay attention and signifying that you are about to make your mark in some aspect of your life. It illuminates the moment of contact when you know that your desires and intentions have travelled on the wind and landed in the perfect place for your highest good. Trust that your job is to be relaxed yet focused, keeping your eye on the prize yet releasing your intention with full expectation that it will land as it's supposed to. Don't worry about the how or the exact form. This is not a time to interfere with the manner in which the arrow flies. It will make its mark and you will have cause to celebrate. Oh, I feel like doing a da-da. Have a great day.